Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today we're going to be dissecting Metallica's brand new song, Lux Aeterna, and talk about the music theory behind it. So let's not waste any time, man. Let's just get on into it. All I ask is that you guys subscribe. This channel is dope, and I'd really appreciate it, okay? So with that being said, let's start dissecting. So this song is in standard tuning. Surprise, surprise, Metallica's playing in standard tuning, right? And most of this song lives in the world of A minor. It's almost an A minor to a T, but it doesn't start in A minor. It starts with a chromatic kind of walk down the fretboard using power chords. So the intro is as follows. So we're starting with a chromatic walk down the fretboard with power chords. And then the final intro part of the song is using that same kind of motif, but rather than just having power chords, we're stacking an octave sandwich, basically, where we have 5-5-7, 4-4-6, etc. And there's a couple ways you can think about this. The way I kind of think about it in my brain is like we have a perfect fourth interval here, and then we have an octave underneath as well. You could also think about this part as a inverted power chord, but regardless, the music theory behind this part is a chromatic walk, just like the beginning part is. Then, once we hit this big open A power chord, now the song's really starting. Now we're really like identifying our key, and we're really like living in a world of music theory. So the key and the scale of A minor is one of the easiest scales and keys to remember. No sharps, no flats, all natural notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and that's it. We don't have to worry about any sort of weird accidentals or anything like that. So what's cool about this song, and the reason why I wanted to make this video, is because it almost follows that very scale and that key to a T, with a couple few exceptions once we get the song starting. So the main hook and the main riff of this song is as follows. That's the main hook of the song, and it's a pretty kind of like old school 80s thrash kind of riff. But what's cool about this riff is, again, it's almost following A minor to a T. So the notes of this riff right here are D, C, G, and then A. We have an octave kind of little chord right here. We have an A and an A. So do a like cool little pull off to an open string, which makes it kind of sound like almost harder than it really is. It's a cool, unique flair that, Eddie Van Halen used to do a lot as well, like string skipping with open strings and stuff like that. So anyway, this part right here, this section right here on the 8th fret is the only spot in this riff that is not in the key of A minor. But it's kind of cool because there's the blues note in this spot right here. 8th fret G string is the tritone of the A minor scale, and or the blue note in the blues scale. Like if you play a blues scale, whenever you do that kind of pass through, that little passing tone of a tritone, that's the blues note. So with this note right here in the scale, doesn't really fit in A minor per se, but in this riff, it kind of adds a little bit of stank to it. And so the Metallica kind of just beefed it up by putting this A sharp against this D sharp. Oops, sorry. So that part right there at 8th fret, those notes don't fit in the key of A minor per se, but the song's going so fast that you can't even really tell anyway. It just sounds kind of cool, you know what I mean? And then that part right there is very Metallica, like it's just 4 power chords, A power chords open, and then with like a stop. And then, you're off and running to the races, right? Now, let's get into the verse. So the verse is, again, A minor to the T. It starts out with an A power chord, then C, D, C, then G, C, B, B. So, all together. And then we do like that kind of crunchy, chunky inverted power chord with the octave, or perfect fourth with the octave. Very John Petrucci type of sound right there. But yeah, man, just A minor to the T. Pre-chorus, we have an F, an E, and then we go to D, E, D, E, D, E. Again, all A minor notes. And then we're backing off and running to the race. Now, what's cool about before verse 2 is there's a cheeky little kind of pentatonic lick. Again, A minor. And it's actually the 5th position of the A minor pentatonic scale. There's a couple ways you could play this little lick. I like to play it down here because it makes the most sense, because it's the 5th position of the A minor pentatonic scale. So like if this is position 1, this is position 5 down here. And then that part of that riff, I'm assuming Kirk does it, where it's like, I mean, it sounds pretty sweet, right? It's just the bottom part of the 5th position of the A minor pentatonic scale. Then we're off and running to verse 2. After the solo, we get into the bridge, and the bridge is just again, all A minor. So right here we have a C inverted power chord, D inverted power chord, and then an A power chord. So again, to the T, A minor. And then we also have it up here as well, towards the end of this section, which is just an octave above what we were just playing before. So, again, all A minor. It's really, really fascinating. Then verse 3 is no different than the rest of the song, just... But then the last part of the song is just more of the same. Bookending that chromatic type of walk. And then I believe it ends on a note something like this, where it goes 5, 6, and 6 is the only note that's not in the key of A minor. Again, it's that A sharp sound. But anyway, one thing that's really fascinating about this song is that there's a metal song out there that follows music theory almost to a T, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video. It's because metal music doesn't necessarily, one, have to follow music theory at all, but the fact that we're in 2022 and almost into 2023 now, music theory, it's not really needed for like songs anymore. But it's cool how Metallica is still coming out with like bangers of songs and following like, you know, music theory A minor to a T. And what's even cooler is it's in standard tuning, you know, like standard tuning metal is pretty rare anymore. So it's cool that, you know, Metallica, arguably the best and biggest metal band of all time, is still doing their thing and sticking to their formula, and it's still working here almost into 2023. I find that pretty fascinating and pretty cool. So everybody, I hope you guys just learned something. I hope you guys just like enjoyed analyzing this song with me. It's really easy to understand if you have a general concept of music theory and, you know, the A minor scale and stuff like that. It's really just outlining the motif of this A note. It's all over the place. I mean, from the verse, or excuse me, from the beginning after the chromatic walk down, from the verse, anyway, we're palm muting this, from the verse itself, we're starting on the A as well. Before we're off and running, before we get to the main part of the song, we do that. In the bridge, we do this. I mean, it's all over the place. Metallica's letting us know as listeners, hey, don't forget, we're in the key of A. We might do this, you know, but don't forget, we're in the key of A minor. So, all that being said, everybody, hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me, dissecting this song. It's super rad that Metallica's still doing it, you know what I mean? So everybody, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're brand new to my channel or you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. If you're not subscribed, you're doing yourself a disservice. But anyway, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay metal. I'll see you guys next time. Later.